Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Go So Beautiful. My name's Becky and today is another episode of Friday Sews. Friday Sews was started by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, and if you haven't had a look at her channel, check it out. And she's got a really fun channel and really knows a lot about sewing. So today I'm going to share a little pattern review and a fun little prompt from our Friday Sews YouTube group on Facebook, along with a little bit about life. Now, you may notice I'm not in my sewing room today, and I hope it's not too dark. It's really rainy. It's been raining all day, and it's going to be raining all day, so I thought I would move up here where there's a little bit more light, and I hope that it doesn't look too drab. What I'm wearing today is the Be Graceful dress from Ellie and Mac Patterns. And I made this, it's a wearable toile, but I made this for the Instagram challenge that Michelle from Michelle Sews Again is running. It's the Sew Purple to End ALZ challenge. And all you have to do is make something purple and post a picture of it on Instagram with the hashtag Sew Purple to End ALZ, and then tag Michelle from Michelle Sews Again. She's running this challenge as a tribute to her father, who passed away from Alzheimer's last year in October. She just wants to raise awareness for Alzheimer's research. She is going to donate $1 for every entry up to $500. So definitely a worthy cause. Get your purple stuff out and make something, make whatever you want. It doesn't have to be clothing, it could be whatever you want. Okay, so on to the pattern review. This is, like I said, the Be Graceful dress from Ellie and Mac Patterns, and it comes in a knee length or maxi length version with inseam pockets and also different sleeve lengths. I made the knee length version with 3/4 length sleeves. And when I cut this out, I shortened the bodice about an inch because I thought it would be a little bit too long for me. Usually, because I'm only 5'3" tall, this was drafted for 5'5". But it actually, I don't think I needed to shorten the bodice because I believe it's drafted to come just either at your waist or maybe a little bit above. And so as you can see, mine is probably about 2 inches, 3 inches above my waist. You're supposed to have elastic in the waist, and when I initially made it, I'll show you a picture of me wearing it. I did put elastic in it, and I thought it made it really close to my midriff, and it just made me look really busty, and it wasn't that comfortable. So I took the elastic out. I had initially put pockets in the sides, and again, they just kind of stuck out. And so I removed those. The neckband was really easy to sew on. The casing for the elastic at the waist was a little bit tricky. You gather the skirt and then you stitch it to the bodice with a 1-inch seam, and then you flip that seam, you trim the bodice seam off a little bit, and then you flip the gathered skirt seam up and stitch it to the bodice. It really took up a lot of fabric, so I ended up unpicking it, and in the process I made a few holes. Well, I ended up taking it out and making the seam a little bit smaller. I only made it 3/4 of an inch wide, and then so my casing was actually pretty small, and I used 3/8 inch elastic for the waist. Now, in unpicking it, unfortunately, I made some little holes in the fabric, and I think part of it is because this fabric is really thin. It's a loosely woven cotton knit, and I don't think it wasn't very expensive fabric, so I'm afraid it's not going to hold up very long. I could be wrong, but since I made those little holes in the waist, I think it's just not going to hold up very long. Anyway, it's a wearable toile. I can wear it around the house. And I do like the pattern. I think if I'm going to when I make it again, I'll probably, instead of putting a seam here for the sleeves, I will make them all one piece, because I think the seam it's just a little bit, feels uncomfortable on my arms. I'm also going to make the bodice the length that it is on the pattern, because I don't think I need to raise it up. But it's a good pattern, and I think it looks really pretty cute. As far as the sizing goes, I forgot to mention that the extra small measurements are 29 inches to 32.5 for the bust, with a waist of 23.5 to 24.75, and a hip measurement of 33.5 to 35.5. This goes up to 6 extra large, with a bust of 61 to 63 inches, a waist of 57 to 60 inches, and a hip of 64 to 67 inches. I fell right smack dab in the middle with an extra large, which my bust is 41.5. My waist, and then I graded out to 2 extra large, with my waist measuring 37.5 and my hips measuring 48 inches. So it's very size inclusive. Like I said, I think the instructions were great. I will make this again in a little bit nicer fabric. Okay, I belong to the Friday Sews YouTubers Facebook group, and they post a prompt each week, and this week's prompt is, what's the craziest thing you've ever made? And in light of Halloween, what's the craziest costume you've ever made? So back in 2004, my children were little, and my son used to watch VeggieTales, and he really liked the character Larryboy. So I made him a Larryboy costume, and here's a picture of him wearing it. I made a cape. I think I used the gold lame for the cape with a purple lining, and then I made a vest with the gold fabric, and I think it had a fur trim, but I'm not sure exactly what kind of trim it was. And then we went to the dollar store and got a little army helmet and painted it purple. And then if you've ever seen the Larryboy character, it's got like suction cups on the side. So we used 2 mini plungers for the helmet. And then got some purple tights and some purple soccer shorts and a purple mask, and he was good to go. So I also made a costume that year for my other son, and his was a Shrek costume. It wasn't real crazy, but I did make a vest, a little leather vest or vinyl vest, and I'm not sure if I made the pants or not, but I'll put a picture of him because it's kind of cute. So that was my, that's probably the craziest costume I've ever made for Halloween. It was a lot of fun. On the life front, I've mentioned before that I've really been trying to stay healthy, and had started working out a little bit more and was working with a trainer, and I had been sore then following my training sessions, but I thought, well, no pain, no gain, and I was seeing some good results. However, at the end of September, I started having some terrible knee pain to the point where I was having trouble walking. It was hurting me while I slept. Finally, I went to the doctor, and he x-rayed it and said, well, nothing's broken. I thought maybe I had torn a ligament, but he said I have this thing called patellar syndrome, or patellar femoral syndrome. It's inflammation behind the kneecap, and it's a very common injury. It's the most common injury that people come into the orthopedic doctor with. So he prescribed some medication and said you need to rest. So I have rested since September 27th, and it's gotten better. And I've been trying to get back in the habit of going to work out, but once you take time off from that, it's really hard to get back into the habit. So, but I am not going to quit. Try to get into the gym and just work at it a little at a time. All right, as far as plans go, I'm really excited to make the duet trousers by Love Notions, and I have some great Ponte knit which I showed in my previous haul video that I'm going to use. And then of course you all were very kind and left comments under my community tab about the kimono fabric that I want to use, and I think the majority voted to use both of the fabrics for that particular pattern. So I want to get that made up as well. Anyway, that's it for me today. I hope y'all have a wonderful, safe Halloween weekend. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I really appreciate all the subscribers I have. Look forward to making more videos. So if you do subscribe, also hit the notification bell and you will see when I upload new videos. So thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great weekend and go sew beautiful. Bye-bye.